Module Overview. In this module, we shift from studying each medium in isolation to conducting a comparative, critical, and interdisciplinary analysis of oil, acrylic, and watercolor painting within the larger context of modern and contemporary art practice. The goal is not just to understand how each medium functions technically, but how it shapes conceptual narratives, stylistic choices, viewer perception, and the philosophical identity of the artwork. We will explore how artists choose their mediums based on expressive intent, environmental concerns, time sensitivity, or material limitations. We'll dissect case studies of major 20th and 21st century artists who use or combine these media to create innovative works. We'll also examine how digital integration, industrial-scale production, installation art, and political movements have influenced medium preferences and aesthetic evolutions. Section 1. The Philosophy of Materiality in Contemporary Art. Art is not just form, but form shaped by matter. The materiality of a painting medium informs its tone, texture, decay, memory, and interpretive weight. Oil speaks of richness, permanence, legacy. Acrylic hints at plasticity, immediacy, modernism. Watercolor whispers fragility, spontaneity, inner world. Section 2. Side-by-side technical comparison. Here we are going to be using feature, oil paint, acrylic paint, and watercolor paint in our table. 1. Binder, linseed oil or walnut oil. Acrylic polymer emulsion gum, Arabic. 2. Solubility requires solvents, turpentine. Water, when wet. Water 3. Drying time. Very slow, hours to weeks. Fast, minutes to hours. Very fast, seconds to minutes. 4. Flexibility. Less flexible, cracks over time. Highly flexible, suitable for mixed surfaces. Fragile and rewettable 5. Color shift. Minor yellowing over time. Darkens slightly when dry, luminous while wet, fades slightly. 6. Layering strong impasto and glazing and textural layers. Transparent, subtle layering. 7. Durability high, if stored properly. Excellent, synthetic resilience. Vulnerable to moisture/light. Section 3. Expressive and conceptual differences. Oil painting, ideal for dramatic realism, layered emotion, classical scenes. Favored in symbolism, romanticism, and academic realism. Used by artists like Lucian Freud, flesh realism, Francis Bacon, visceral emotion. Acrylic painting suited for modern abstraction, hard edge, pop art, conceptual minimalism. Dries fast for rapid execution or production lines. Employed by David Hockney, Mark Rothko, Bridget Riley, Barbara Kruger. Watercolor embraces personal narrative, illustrative storytelling, ephemerality. Ideal for field studies, fashion design, expressive portraiture. Celebrated by Winslow Homer, Agnes Cecile, Beatrix Potter, Ewa Ludwiczak. Section 4. Mediums in contemporary hybrid practice. Mixed media, watercolor over acrylic ink, acrylic on oil resist grounds, watercolor plus digital retouch. Conceptual art, medium used to challenge permanence, accessibility, cost, e.g. paper-based protests. Installation art, artists use acrylic for wall murals, oil for centerpieces, and watercolor for journal sketches. Sustainability, water-based mediums gain favor due to environmental awareness. Section 5. Medium as cultural signifier. In Western classical tradition, oil was a status symbol, used for portraits and history painting. In Eastern art, ink and watercolor symbolized wisdom, simplicity, nature. Acrylic, emerging in the 20th century, became a voice of modernity, commercialism, industrial scale. Section 6. Decision-making. How artists choose their medium. Subject matter, portraits, oil, expressive abstraction, acrylic, botanical art, watercolor. Working time, oil requires patience, acrylic rewards speed. Environment, studios with ventilation, oil, limited space, watercolor, large walls, acrylic murals. Budget and scalability, acrylic is cost-effective and commercial. Watercolor is affordable, oil is expensive and elite. Section 7. Case studies. Gerhard Richter uses oil and squeegee techniques for abstract and photorealistic hybrids. Yayoi Kusama uses acrylic for large-scale infinity pattern work. Georgia O'Keeffe used both oil and watercolor to express form, sensuality, and desert landscapes. Jean-Michel Basquiat combined oil stick, acrylic, and watercolor in chaotic mixed media pieces. Module outcomes. By the end of this module, you will understand the technical, historical, and expressive contrast between oil, acrylic, and watercolor. Evaluate how each medium supports or restricts conceptual execution. Analyze contemporary art through the lens of material and medium. Develop informed choices when selecting mediums for specific artistic intents. Articulate their creative voice using medium as a narrative tool.